Coming to you a couple minutes late because the gym workout just had to get done. We couldn't end early. It's Wellness Nerd Out time! What's going on, baby? Happy Wellness Nerd Out time. Today what I want to talk about, aside from Paulo Silva and Dan Smith, because it's both of their birthdays. Happy birthday, you guys. Hope you had a good day. Great day. And what I want to talk about is dietary approaches to reducing the symptoms of ADHD, whether it's in an adult or in a child, which is more common. They give kids Adderall after age 5. I think that's absolutely insane. We're talking methylphenidates, methamphetamine, or not methamphetamine, amphetamines, methylphenidate. It's not good stuff, right? So if we could take some natural approaches to reducing that neural hyperactivity going on in attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, that would be fantastic, right? I sure had it as a kid because I had lots of energy. And any kid with energy has ADHD. Don't even get me started. Thanks, guys, for tuning in. We'll get to you in a minute here. So what do we have in terms of food? What do we have in terms of supplements? Well, always food first. First thing, you're going to cut out everything that is artificial, everything processed. They talk about cutting out artificial food colorings. That's a given. They've shown some success, but really, it's not completely definitive that doing that will reduce the symptoms of ADHD. Just cut out all processed shit. Anything you can't find in nature, don't give to your freaking kid. Right? Unless it's like some baby formula, milk and vitamins. But nothing processed, okay? No added sugar, no soda, no potato chips, no candy. A little bit of candy, don't be a psycho. Whatever, once in a long time. But you get the point, right? Feed them with whole foods. More polyunsaturated fatty acids. Those are PUFAs, as we say. I can't see you guys from here. Thanks for tuning in. It's on the car, so the rack's blocking everyone. We'll get to you in a minute. More polyunsaturated fatty acids. We find those in things like nuts and seeds, for example. So lots of those. And we talk about unsaturated fats. Of course, a lot of fish, extra virgin olive oil, avocados, things like that too. So polyunsaturated fatty acids, no artificial sweeteners, refined flours, grains, added food coloring, no additives in general, no artificial sugars. And the Few Foods diet. The Few Foods diet has shown the most promise for reducing the symptoms of ADHD. And what they do in the Few Foods diet, it's an elimination diet. So you eliminate a bunch of foods, much like the FODMAP diet, right? The low fermented oligosaccharide, disaccharide, monosaccharide, and polyol that you see for like fibromyalgia, stuff like that. Look it up if you want. You eliminate a bunch of foods and then you slowly reintroduce them one by one to see what was causing the symptoms, right? Which is common sense, makes total sense, seems like a great idea, right? So if you combine eating naturally, nothing processed, with the Few Foods diet and make an extra effort to get more PUFAs, that could help to reduce the neural hyperactivity. That could help to boost epinephrine, other catecholamine levels like dopamine, which are typically low in kids with ADHD, right? So what do we have for supplements? All right. Well, first, fish oil or omega-3s, or you could say DHA/EPA, right? What we see in our fish oil. Now, we want to go for even more DHA, another video. But we know that fish oil is involved in brain health naturally, as it contains these healthy unsaturated fats, right? And healthy unsaturated fats, constituents of them are portions, they make up portions, look at phospholipids, for example, of membranes of brain cells, right? And we talked about that the other day, but a good reference is like alpha-glycerol-phosphorylcholine, alpha-GPC we reference. But it's not only that. Boosting immunity and reducing inflammation, they have a great impact, do these unsaturated fats, these omega-3s, on neurotransmission, neural activity. So those are number one, more omega-3s, even if you don't want to remember why. Number one, omega-3s. Number two, ginkgo biloba. Ginkgo biloba, also known as an adaptogen, an adaptogenic herb, we can say, which is something that helps your body better deal with stress and anxiety. Another example would be rhodiola rosea root or Panax ginseng, things like that, right? So ginkgo biloba boosts both serotonin and norepinephrine levels. So we said norepinephrine levels are typically low with other catecholamines, epinephrine and dopamine, in people with ADHD. So it's no surprise that it might help, right? Not to mention it reduces inflammation, as these herbs, these plants typically seem to do, right? So ginkgo biloba absolutely affects your brain function because it also improves cerebral blood flow. That's blood flow to the head. And if we get more blood flow to the brain, what do you think's going to happen? Probably good things, right? Now, I know I keep saying, oh, hyperactivity, well, more blood flow. Does that necessarily mean more, this scattered going on in the brain, if you will? Well, not necessarily, right? It's also carrying, what does the blood carry? Oxygen and nutrients. If you're thinking better in general, you have more thinking power. That also means you can be more relaxed. It could mean that, the GABA neurotransmitter is more active, for example. Gamma-aminobutyric acid, which is an inhibitory one. This is aside from this concept, but I just want you to see that this concept of influx of blood is not directly related to the neurohyperactivity. Okay? Ginkgo biloba. Alcar, acetyl L-carnitine. We know that L-carnitine is involved in cellular energy metabolism, and that occurs in the mitochondria. And it's not just in cells throughout the entire body, it's also in the central nervous system, the brain, and the spinal cord. You can look at the brain. If we are affecting mitochondrial activity and energy metabolism, it's probably, it's generally going to have an impact on brain function, right, in itself. Not to mention Alcar has been shown to raise dopamine levels. So that's our reward neurotransmitter / hormone, and that's one of those catecholamines that may be depleted in kids with ADHD. People in general with ADHD. So, say kids more common. What else did I have on this list? Phosphatidylserine. That is a phosphorus-containing lipid or fat. Phosphatidylserine affects receptors, ion channels, and enzymes that are involved in neurotransmission, in cellular signaling. What are you talking about, Shane? Neurotransmission, cell signaling. Before I even talk about that, those are your top four, right? Phosphatidylserine, Alcar, ginkgo biloba, and omega-3s. And in summary again, few foods diets. What you're looking for, more polyunsaturated fatty acids. There's your video in like 10 seconds. So we like to explain everything though, because we love it. Thanks guys for tuning in, and it's just fun. And you should know why these things are true, and why we would herald anything, recommend anything. So when we talk about neurotransmission, we're talking about sending signals from one brain cell to another in all these different pathways with all these different chemicals and simple, and we can just call them neurotransmitters, or if they act over a longer distance, we can call them hormones, right? And so some of them are both neurotransmitters and hormones, like dopamine or serotonin, for example, can act locally and, if you'd rather, diffusely from distance. So something binds to a receptor in a cell, this little ball floating around, and it triggers a cascade inside the cell that makes all these things happen, and it makes the cell shoot a signal through an action potential, which doesn't matter exactly what that is, and I'll talk about it, but pushes it, shoots that signal to the next neuron. Eventually, it goes from, say, the spinal cord to the brain, or the brain to the spinal cord, or from parts of the brain to other parts of the brain, and things like that. So that's what we're talking about when we're talking about neurotransmission. Okay, just so you know, in simple, doesn't need to be biology course, doesn't need to be a biochem course, biology course, anything like that. But I want you to understand, what we're talking about in general if you're not a science person. Most of you knew exactly what I was talking about. But that's what we got for you guys today. So before we say what's up to Dan Smith and Paulo Silva for being your birthdays, we're going to say what's up to the homies out here, see who we got. It's Jovi24. Thank you very much, my friend. Alejandro, how you doing? Pride J, what's going on? Dread Blood Moon V, what's happening? Thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you got something out of this. Yo, Tony, 32, what's up, my dude? Diego Loster, how you doing? Josh, assistant of Dustin's assistant Josh, what's up? Paul Krausick, how you doing? Gemini Guapo, HC Blake 918, JC Anthony, what's going on? 40 plus fitness journey, right on to you. Respect, brother. But yeah, 40 plus, and you look like what that looks like. In a small picture, you look great. Keep doing it. Good for you. Agent Aurora Fernandez, what's happening? Stephen Appleblue, Stephen Appleblue, what's up? Tell me your name. Josh Winter 87, Maggie Bex, what's up, girl? I'm in that same parking lot I saw you the other day. Ryan Exumel, how you doing? Jose 85 Nene and James Costos, thank you guys for tuning in. Ethan Brightman, what's happening, man? Thanks for hopping on. Objective Observer, what's going on? Happy birthday. The happiest of birthdays to Paulo Silva. I hope you had a fantastic day, man. When I think of you, Paulo, I will tell you, the absolute first thing that comes to mind is a man who walks in the room, and I just worked out if you just tuned in. First thing that comes to mind when I think of you is a guy that just blows energy into a room. Just like, and I mean that in a great way. I love it, because I got a lot of energy. I think it's fun, But, man, you definitely some ball of positive energy, always positive. You're a good-hearted person that's very thankful for what he has. Gone through some stuff in life, with a lot as all of us have, and you're in a great place now, and you're living in Miami, baby. So it doesn't get much better than that, right? Life is definitely good. And I think you're someone that is trying new things. We talk about these things you're working on, and we don't need to talk about it right now. You need to, but it's awesome to see that you're broadening your horizons. You're trying to delve into different expertise and just embark on different avenues of life that could lead to something great, and you're doing the best you can every day, and that's a fantastic thing, man. Don't stop doing that until you really crush something. That's what it's all about. I'm not even close to there. I'm honestly not, but I work on it every day, and that's what all of us deserve to do for ourselves, whatever goal that is, whatever we have. So go do that for yourself, everybody, but you too, Paula. Forever your day in the book of When Wellness. Happy birthday. Enjoy it. Wish I was spending it with you. Happy birthday, Dan Smith. Happy birthday, man. Dan, are you still playing rugby? Do you still have a brain? Is your head falling off yet? I hope not. A lot of the guys that we used to play with are probably in that boat. So don't jump in it anytime soon. It's going to sink. Yeah, to the bottom of nowhere. And you, dude, I really hope you had a great day. Before I get on some stupid rant. You like to hit people. I like that a lot. And you like to drink. We had a great time doing that. When Wellness doesn't really drink anymore. It has to be a very special occasion, a wedding or something. But we had some good times, man. And keep doing what you're doing. I don't know where the hell you're at now. We gotta talk. Yeah, we gotta talk. It's been a long time. And I hope you enjoyed the day. I really do. If you see this, reach out. Let's have a phone call or something like that. What do you say? A phone call goes a long way. And I'll talk to you soon. It's forever your day as well. In the book of When Wellness. Happy birthday, man. Keep being a great guy. Seth RVA. Guys, have a fantastic rest of your night. That's all we got. We'll see you tomorrow. Happy When Wellness. Really, we'll see you today because it's past 12. Okay, bye.